Hello and good evening. You're welcome to info.com on Lagos Television, Ikeja. My name is Biyi, and I want to first ask how your week was. How was it? I'm sure it's nice. Tonight is going to be very interesting because this week we will be looking at different issues that are very pertinent to us as users of ICT. The first instance, we'll be taking a look at the challenges of power and ICT and what are the options, And secondly, would also take a look at the BlackBerry Messenger as a platform for marketing. And today we're bringing back the tidbit segment, which may have to do with devices once in a while. It may have to do with the hardware or software or the entire ICT itself. And that's going to be courtesy Slingshot Technologies. And that's how it's going to be every week. The idea is to make us understand and possibly maximize the usage of our devices, and also sometimes let us get to know what's happening in the world of ICT and the trending news, what are stuff that are trending. This and very more will be what we'll be doing today on your favorite segment of info.com. So join me after this time out, because when we come back on this set, it'll be time for business. I'll be right back. Welcome back to info.com. My name is B, and I have on the set today my friend, MD CEO, Slingshot Technologist, Y2J, Yetunde Johnson.
Good morning.
And thanks so very much. I did tell you that partnership with them, they would help us week by week with certain trends on technology, and I'm sure today we'll be taking a look at some things that had to do with the devices, the hardware.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Good. And our long lost friend, he was lost but now he's found, Kolade, a very, very seasoned strategist, business strategist. Welcome on the program.
Thank you, B.
Where have you been?
Huh? I've been around, just east.
To and fro.
No, to and fro, the east and
That's what the devil told God.
But I'm not the devil.
All right, this week we will be talking about, it just occurred to me while we didn't plan this, right?
Okay.
But while you guys were talking, I just said to myself, if ICT must be effective as a platform for national development, then we need to take a look at the enablers. And part of the structures that we have to take a look at is power. Power is very key. And so, but of course there are other alternatives to power. That's what I want us to take a look at today. The UPSs, solar, whatever, as a means of bridging the shortfall in power. What's your take on that?
I think it's very key. I think even if NEPA or PHCN does get better, it's going to be very expensive. So we need to look at alternatives. And then with the cloud coming online as well, it can only be effective if there's a stable and consistent power supply. So I think it's definitely very necessary. Now there's a lot being done in between. You have your UPSs, you have power packs, you have
Inverters.
You have inverters. You have some people thinking of building in power into computers, into TVs. So there's a whole gamut of things. But how effective they are, some are good, some are bad.
Okay. KK?
Well, to me, technology without power is not technology. You won't even have technology without power. So it is it is an essential commodity for us to drive technology in this country. And if we are talking power, fine. We really need to look at the alternative means. We really need to look at, just based on what she said, we know we need power, but if the main power we rely on fails, then what is the alternative to fall on? That is where we need to start looking at alternative.
Okay, the alternatives, you did say that on the long run, power may become very expensive.
Yes.
Okay, but do we have is there a safe? I mean, would the alternatives be cheaper?
Now, that's a good question. In the short term, it may look like a big investment, but because some of them are for the long term, over the period of time, they're actually very cheap. And the cost of these solutions, for instance, solar, I remember bringing in a solar system about 7-8 years ago. It was extremely expensive.
You brought it in from Oyo State?
No. I actually worked with a consultant to put a solar backup power for a data room. It was very expensive then. Recently, I've been asked to do the same, and for a much bigger system. And the cost of solar have dropped. They've halved.
Give us an idea. I mean, you did a power audit. How much kilowatts? Is it kilowatts or megawatts?
I couldn't give you the precise figures.
But the difference between then and now?
Yes, the costs have dropped. Like? The cost of a solar panel has dropped almost to half, and I'm surprised. Me, I've decided that once a month I will save money and buy a solar panel a month, because it's good to have an inverter, but inverters are still dependent on you running a gen or you getting PHCN. Whereas if you have a solar power, the sun is there every morning, and at least for 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, sure, they do.
Okay. I remember while I was with the company, we had a hybrid between the solar, the inverter, and the battery. Okay. Now, that seems to be a very good solution. But how dependable would that be? In the face of hiccups, technical issues,
Well, to me, as designed, it is very dependable. It is what some countries even use in generating their power right now. You get it, but because everything about Nigeria, I keep saying this, everything about Nigeria is so peculiar. Nigeria is a peculiar country. So when it comes to Nigeria, the technology itself, the solar technology, is dependable. But getting engineers to fix and fixing correctly might be a problem for us here. But if you can fix it correctly, get the right, for example, the right, what's it called? Because you need, just like a solar inverter, you get it, that will take the whatever, get the right spec for the right panel and get the right battery for the right, you get it, not just trying to cut corners. If you do it right, you get result for it. You enjoy it. You won't have any problems. But if you don't do it right, then you might have problems, and that's why we start complaining.
Okay, now let's look at e-learning, because we're taking a look at the problems one by one. Just like you have people sometimes submitting their phones to some guy on the road to charge, and a lot of chargers are also in town, fake, but we had no alternative, and we're just rushing them and we're buying them. If someone, for example, in the hinterland, needs to use maybe a tablet, and there's no power, what alternative do they have? Generators?
Well, there are generators, but you see, that's where the manufacturers become more creative. I believe that anybody coming into Nigeria should understand that the starting ground is that we don't have stable power. So anything they create, they should build in a battery, a backup supply. I remember saying this to a manufacturer a long time ago, and I noticed recently, you've got tabletop computers with backup power supplies. I've advised offices that move away from UPS and computer and move to laptops. Why? Because it comes with a built-in power supply. The one that I'm thinking of is the laptop that they did for, I think it was for 100 children or something. It came with a solar panel built into it. That's beautiful.
Okay, so the emerging technologies now should take that into consideration. Like when you're coming to Nigeria, the power here is different.
There's even a laptop now that I saw is a solar-powered laptop.
Exactly.
You get it, just the front, whatever.
Made in Nigeria?
No, made for African
use.
You get it. They're already thinking in that line. Is it one of the main big brands? You get it. It's a laptop, but it's a solar laptop. So you charge, you on, you use, and you close. Because look, we are saying this because we are in Lagos, we are in the major city. If you go to those rural areas, they don't even have light, and they don't have money to buy generators.
Okay, my conclusion this week is, if you're going to buy devices, as a matter of fact, let me take a cue from her. If I were you, I would not wait until I have $1 million. Just keep buying a panel each day.
Each month.
Right?
Each month.
And before your 70th birthday,
You'll have light.
you'll have lights. Don't mind, I was kidding. But of course, the power really has been better. there seems to be change in that sector now. It's getting better. Know where we're going. Generation I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's leave it on that positive note. We must be prepared, and I want to challenge every one of us, the youths, and you also start thinking of how to contribute to what they just said. You can make your millions by thinking ahead and saying, okay, I'm going to devise a solution that will make it less, make it less dependable on people to wait on the public, power supply. So that's how we're living it right now. We'll be back. This time, the next time we're coming back, we'll be talking business and how to use your BBM for marketing. Until then, join us after this time out. Welcome back to the studios of Lagos Television. This is info.com, and my name is Biyi. I have a guest, of course, in-house guest, in-house analyst. He too has been doing some award of late, but we prayed and he's back. Fola, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Where did you go to?
Well, I've been around my father's business.
You've been going up and down,
No,
to and fro.
I've been about my father's business.
Now, Fola, I just want us to take a look at how to maximize the BBM. A lot of people use it, for chatting, but basically for things that don't add value to them. What's your take?
The first thing is that you're making a mistake if all you ever do with your BBM is just to chat. There are quite a number of people who are your friends that you can even maximize cheap publicity with. Because what I do is, on my social networking platforms, I don't project myself as an individual. I project myself as a brand. So everything I do on my social networking platform is as a brand, not just as Fola Daniel, who wants to be your friend, who wants to chat with you. So immediately you spot my brand, or immediately you see my identities, you know that this is somebody doing something. So that's the first strategy in maximizing your BlackBerry Messenger platform. Don't project yourself as just a contact. In fact, there are people who
That's if you intend to use it, use the platform for business.
Even if you're not using it for business, you should still project yourself as a positive brand. Now, the brand will not depend on what kind of brand you're looking at. There are people who say their own brand is the business that does or that sells a product. And for some other people, it could just be, I just want to be an icon. I just want to be a celebrity.
Okay, so how do we go through BBM for marketing?
BBM for marketing, the first part is what I've just told you. Project yourself as a brand. When I say as a brand, it doesn't necessarily mean put the name of the company. It could be the way you put your name, the way you post, your signature and everything. And then you don't just send broadcast anyhow because it annoys people. You send broadcast once in a while. So when you do, people want to read because they know that you barely do. And when you send broadcasts, you don't send extremely long ones because people don't have the time to read. Don't forget, you're not the only one sending broadcasts to that person. Because you are sending broadcasts among several others, people tend to read the shortest ones. So that's another thing that you can do. Then the second part that you can look at is creating a BBM channel. We used to have BBM groups. It used to annoy people because you add people without
their consent. I mean,
so
you invade on their
So now what you can
space
do is to create a BBM channel. A BBM channel also comes with a BBM pin. So the people may not have your personal pin, but they can still interact with your channel and you can respond. Where the channel works is it's not restricted to your contacts alone. You can give out the pin and people who are not your contacts will be able to respond to and they'll be able to see whatever is on the channel because it comes on the feed of the BBM news feed. So people can see everything there. Even your old messages, people can, still check it. But when you send broadcasts to people, after a while, the old messages get deleted. But on the BBM channel, it's not like that. So old feeds can still be seen. So BBM has taken it a step further. There is the BBM sponsored ads now. So when you're scrolling through your news feed, you just see an ad from a big company or some other persons that you know. And these people are not your contacts on BBM. They're not your contacts even on the BBM channel. So you wonder, how did they do that? BBM has opened up, just like other social media platforms.
So it's no longer a confined space?
It's no longer confined.
Okay, but how do you now get the database that is, good enough for what you want to project in terms of marketing?
Okay, it works like the Facebook advertising. For Facebook advertising, for LinkedIn or Twitter advertising, you don't necessarily need the database. What you need is to specify to BBM, this is what I want. This is the target that I want to reach. So once you pay and you tell them what you specify what you're looking for or the people you're targeting, when your funds are exhausted, they start pushing out your promotions. But the beautiful part is that they can tell how many people saw your adverts or how many people saw your post, and you can tell them specifically, these are the people I'm targeting. I want people from age 16 to 25. I want men only, or I want women only. I want people in Nigeria. So if you focus on that, it's more effective because, you know, most of our phones, once there's something new on the news feed, you know, the icon comes up and it doesn't go off until you check it. So people feel compelled to check the news feed of their BlackBerry Messenger. So it's quite effective to use that as a platform to advertise. Unlike sending broadcasts that I may not read, I may just open it so that the message icon is no longer there and close it immediately.
But aren't there privacy issues here?
No, there's no privacy issue because it's on the news feed. So you're going there by choice. If you choose, you can ignore it. If you don't, you can read it. So there's no privacy issue there.
Okay, so we're living with this. Everyone that has a BBM has a capacity to market,
to advertise to a limited number of people.
Without any hindrance whatsoever.
True.
And without having to pay for any airtime.
You have to pay. The one that you don't have to pay for is the BBM channel.
Yes.
You have to manage it yourself.
So
you have to do manual
how much do you pay?
For BBM channel, it's absolutely free. But to get the sponsored ads, well, depending on the market that you're trying to target, usually we would be talking about maybe about $1,000 a month.
Well, I'll be finding $1,000 right now if I don't leave the studios. Thanks so much very much.
A pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's how much. No. We still have the segment that is going to be very interesting. Call everyone. You guys that have an iPhone or a Microsoft phone or whatever, you need to sit and listen. And the ladies are beautiful. But for me, I'll be right back after this time out.
Welcome to Know Your Gadget segment on info.com. Today, I'll be giving you tips on how to stop auto-upload of your videos, your pictures, and your images to the cloud on your Android mobile devices, your Microsoft mobile devices, and your Apple mobile devices. For your Android mobile devices, you go to Google Photos. In the Google Photos application, tap the bar on the top left, click Settings, click Backup and Sync, and turn that off. As soon as you turn that off, it stops your photos from being uploaded to Google Drive. Let me take that again. Go to Google Photos, tap the bar at the top, go to Settings, go to Backup and Sync, and turn that off. As soon as you do that, it stops your photos from being uploaded to Google Drive. I'll be moving on to how to do the same on your Microsoft device. On the Microsoft device, it's a lot easier than the Android device. Why did I say so? You just go to Settings. Under Settings, tap Photos and Camera. You scroll down and you turn off Auto Upload to OneDrive. That's all. It's just that easy. Again, you go to Settings, you go to Photos and Camera, and then you turn off Auto Upload to OneDrive. For the Apple device, it's a little bit different because you have to change two settings. You go to Settings, you go to Photos and Camera, and then you turn off photo sharing, iCloud photo sharing, and photo stream. Now, before you do this, you'd have to back up all your videos, all your photos, and all your images first. If not, turning those two off will automatically delete all your existing videos and photos from your device. As soon as you turn those off, it stops them from being uploaded to the cloud. Again, go to Settings, go to Photos and Camera, turn off Photo Stream and iCloud photo sharing after you've backed up your images, your photos, and your pictures. Now, after you've done those, it means your photos will no longer be uploaded to the cloud and you'd be safe. That's how you turn off auto upload on your mobile devices on the Android platform, the Microsoft platform, and the Apple platform. That's it on Know Your Gadgets on info.com this week. Thank you.